As the great philosopher Sonic the Hedgehog once said, gotta go fast. Hello folks, Phil Gallagher aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video, and today Anubis has asked us to play a Turbo Seeker of Skybreak combo, which I have heavily adjusted from the original build, but I have very much kept the core identity of the deck intact. Anubis's general theory was to go as quickly as possible with Seeker of Skybreak combo. And the original deck that I got was just red-green. I have added blue into the deck so that we have a second combo piece in the form of Aphetto Alchemist. And I'll go into the other card Loki in just a second. But in case you're not familiar with this combo, since it is new, Hawkeye's Bow gives a creature +1/+0 and reach. And whenever equipped creature becomes tapped, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So in a fair capacity, you can throw this on some creature and it effectively gets +2 power, 1 literal point of power and another 1 from when it becomes tapped. But that's not what we're doing. We are looking to put this on a creature that untaps itself, so that for every cycle of you tapping and untapping it, you ping your opponent for 1. If we play Elvish Spirit Guide on turn 1, we can get one of these creatures into play on turn 1 and execute the combo on turn 2. Now, we can go faster. We can play up to the full 8 Spirit Guides here, but I think we have to be prepared to play some amount of Magic for when things don't go our way. And I have added in 2 sources of card advantage here in the forms of Loki and Amped Raptor from the original deck list. The idea with Loki is kind of cute. So in this case, whenever a permanent becomes the target of an ability you control, draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. But the idea is, Seeker of Skybreak untaps itself on your turn, draw a card. It's now untapped, right? So on your turn, you untap it again, and you draw another card with Loki. So Loki plus Seeker of Skybreak or Aphetto Alchemist is +2 cards per turn cycle, which is kind of cool. And we can go ahead and make our combo uncounterable via Hexing Squelcher, or protect our creatures via Legolas's Quick Reflexes. Note there's another combo here with this card. So you get the ability, whenever this creature becomes tapped, it deals damage equal to its power to up to 1 target creature. So with your Seeker of Skybreaks, that can just be a board wipe, right? So you can use Seeker or Aphetto Alchemist plus Legolas's Quick Reflexes to not only make your creature safe from a removal spell, but also kill all of your opponent's creatures, which is kind of cute. We are skimping on lands. To be perfectly frank, we are going for Spirit Guides plus 8 Mana Dorks as our way to cast most of our spells. This will probably bite us in the butt a couple of times throughout the league, but the hope is that we don't have to win every game via combo. If we just have a couple of Hierarchs and a few bad creatures, and our opponent just keeps removing the creatures but doesn't actually build their own board presence, we can in theory just bash in for like 4 a turn with a Hexing Squelcher and eventually kill our opponent. As far as the sideboard goes, I am pretty much always going to be playing Force Effects when I can right now. We're relatively light on blue, so I don't think we get to do the blue pitch counterspells. So I have Endurances for Reanimator, Force of Vigor for Fantastic Car, Collector Oof as a generic Hate Bear versus all of the stuff fueled by artifacts, and then some Simian Spirit Guides for when we need to go faster. Note that Collector Oof has a little bit of negative synergy with our deck, shall we say. But the hope is that if I put a Collector Oof in play, it hurts you a lot more than it hurts me. So this is going to be a fun league. Our games are probably going to go fast one way or another. Our game plan today is race, not interact. So we'll see how it goes, and we can get faster in the post-sideboard games with Simian Spirit Guides as well. Those are also there for if, like, the original 16 land count of the deck feels a little too sus. I can board those in. Now, with that being said, if you need any cards for the new metagames, your Force of Vigors, your Force of Despairs, whatever, please consider getting them from my sponsor, TOAMagic.com, and when you do, use promo code ThrabenU to save yourself a little bit on your order. With that being said, Let's battle. All right. So, my opening hand can just play Seeker of Skybreak on turn 1. I think it's correct to play the Hierarch, though. I think I slow my roll a little bit here. Basic Mountain, eh? What does that mean right now? Let's rumble and look for the bow. We did not find the bow. I can get Hexing Squelcher. I don't know that I'm expecting this to be like a deck with removal. I think I'll get the land. Drop this. Actually, I'll play the Alchemist. And the reason that I'm playing the Alchemist specifically is that if we get Blood Mooned... Oh, shit. Guess I picked the wrong one. Anyway, but if I get Blood Mooned, I can still use Legolas's quick reflexes. So, it looks like we were playing against Painter. And Painter does go to Graveyard. Now I've got a ton of mana and not much to do with it, unfortunately. And we're very dependent on the top of the deck presenting us with something cool to do. So we would like to get the bow to just win. That would be nice. If we don't do that, I still have Legolas's quick reflexes as a board wipe. And I can do that twice. Ass. You can get your construct. All right, opponent is floating mana instead. So let's go quick reflexes here. Have this untap itself. Junk you. I probably don't get to do this twice though, because I imagine that Urza Saga fetches a Pithing Needle. And the second time kills this construct token. And unfortunately, this can't just go to face. Would be sweet if it could. So now, if nothing else, my opponent could just make the construct with their floating mana from before. There is a Painter, but my opponent could not get Grindstone, so that's the good news here. Oof. The bad news is that this gets Grindstone, and I can't get this Pithing Needle out of the way. Okay, it's going for Extruder instead. I am dead on board to Grindstone. Like, I can kill a creature with this. Do I try to do that? Do I try to win that way? I think I am just simply not going to win that way. I'm going to concede. I think my opponent grinds through me pretty easily. And I have, at minimum, 4 Force of Vigor. I'm probably doing Force and Collector Oof, but not Endurance. Do I board out Hawkeye's bow when I board in this many things this aggressively? And we treat the untappers as removal spells with quick reflexes and card draw with Loki? Seems reasonable. How do I get in 8 cards? Or do I just not Force of Vigor and only Collector Oof? Because it's hard for me to board 8 cards. I could see that. I could also get rid of Hexing Squelcher. I could get rid of Hexing Squelcher. Amped Raptor is weird with Force of Vigor in the deck, though. Hopefully that doesn't come up. Yup. Bananas. Double Collector Oof with Force of Vigor for Urza Saga as well. We are going fast with this deck. Salivating. Nice. So, I think I just oof with the ability to protect it from a lightning bolt. Try to change phases. Oh my god, a lightning bolt! Drop. Quick reflexes. Thank you, hexproof. There's basic mountain. That is collector oof food. That's what that is. Here's Malevolent Rumble. I think I'll just get an Amped Raptor. I'll do a post-combat second collector oof. Get in there, bud. And at this stage, we probably can hardcast a Force of Vigor if Urza Saga comes down, which it did. Extruding! That gets rid of 1 collector oof. But I have 2 collector oofs. Do I want to hardcast Force of Vigor on Urza Saga? Probably. I'm just upset about it because I want to play 2 Amped Raptors. 14. You. And I think you. The Force of Vigor that is double Sinkhole is kind of hot. Alright, there's another land. That's a Fable. I still get to attack through that. I think I want to Surveil land here. Yeah. Try to use it to set up Amped Raptor. This deck is so fucked. This is great. Anubis, this was a good call. There's another collector oof. Here's another Amped Raptor. There's a Loki. Very nice. In for 3. This rules. I'm attacking for so much damage next turn, and my opponent has Ancient Tomb in play. They do have more non-artifact lands, though. So despite the fact that I have blown up 2 of their lands, they still have 4 mana. Like, they're playing Magic. Fuck! Alright, let's assemble a combo, please. Oh, wait, shit, they have 2 cards in hand. Lol. So, quick Reflexes on something just to kill this token when I attack. So, yeah. What an absolutely savage hand. GG's. That game was worth the price of admission alone. Alright, on we go. So this can do the Legolas's quick reflexes thing and has a Force of Vigor. I'm going to say that that is good enough to turn this into a keep. Welder, you've got it. I can do the thingy twice. And I get to do a Surveil land in the first turn cycle. That's a Saga. I will probably Force of Vigor that. I don't know that I need to do it immediately. Yeah. Commercial District. No to that land. I'm also now second guessing myself whether or not I should have just jammed this on turn 1 and not held this Spirit Guide for Force of Vigor. Oh, it's another Force of Vigor. I don't know, maybe I'm holding this Spirit Guide for 1 copy of Legolas's quick reflexes. This. I think this. Urza Saga is scary. Opal is fine. Ancient Tomb. Engineer. Yep. Seems good. That's a Chaos Defiler. So I can now Force of Vigor this Mox to stop Chaos Defiler from getting into play. Blah. Yuck. Alright. That's a Hierarch. So land drop. Quick reflexes. Do this thing. Kill you. Repeat this twice to get the Engineer. And then we're in Top Deck City. We are not going to kill my own creatures with this combo. 16. That is a Pithing Needle, which presumably my opponent is going to put on this onboard Alchemist. Oh, are they thinking about the bow? Okay, they are going with the Alchemist. And then there's another Welder. Fuck. All right, Amped Raptor. Listen here, bud. I need you to do something nice for me. A Hierarch. All right. Well, in I go. I get to hit for a decent amount, but like Chaos Defiler just gets to arrive. I think my opponent is going to stabilize. All right, Chaos Defiler is happening. Yeah, that makes sense. Am I just attacking for 4 with First Strike? I think so. It just doesn't feel good. Yeah, my opponent takes it. I will pass the turn representing a card. But assuming that my opponent can put another artifact into play... Well, I guess they don't even need to, right? They can just loop Chaos Defiler with the stuff that's here after attacking me for 5. 14. Opponent passes. I get yet another one of these. But this isn't going anywhere versus the Chaos Defiler every turn. Oh god, there's just a Lightning Bolt too. I think I'm dead. Oh no, second Welder. Alright, I think I will probably concede if my next draw isn't good. Because now this Chaos Defiler can come in and out every turn multiple times. That was a good game of Magic and a good first round for the deck, honestly. We had a game there that looked absolutely overwhelming. GG. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, and I love them. I have over 1,000 deck lists here. And I think the thing that I like the most about them is they're more than just a basic deck builder. If you need information about your next pre-release or where you can get cards, they have that sort of stuff here too. Whether you need to manage your collection or just a couple of decks, Moxfield does it all. So go check them out. All right. Opening hand is fine. I'm going to keep it. I'm not sure if I'm going to cast a spell on turn 1. Opponent says hello to YouTube. I think I'm going to rumble and try to find land drop 2. It's just weird because I have 3 colors of stuff in my hand and this is going to represent 2 of the colors. Let's get Taiga. And here I wish this Spirit Guide was just another land. Yes. All right. Greed. Greed. I know the top card of my library is a land without fail. I'm not worried, are you? Sweat, 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 sweat. Now sweating for a different reason. Fuck. The car? Thoughtseize. Oh, it's Raph and Mikey. Yeah, seems good. We probably won on turn 3, but opponent won on turn 1 instead. Quick reflexes gone. Grizzlebrand in play. Yeah, no, we're done here. I don't win from this position. I just like can't give this stuff haste or anything. So I am well, I guess I can wait like 30 seconds to not let my opponent know that I have no outs to this. Another unmask. All right, that is certainly not going to do it. GG. Income 4 endurances. Honestly, probably 3 spirit guides as well. Like, we don't care about grinding. We just want to shove our combo. How do I feel about this? Weird. It technically answers creatures, right? All right. I will keep it. We are trying to go faster. This does not have endurance. This is not going to do it. This has endurance. Am I trying to keep 3 lands? I think I'm trying to keep 3 lands. I will pass the turn. I have Pitchcast Endurance available for graveyard-oriented stuff. And I have enough creatures that I don't think my opponent will have brought in Stronghold Gambit. Grixis Reanimator. Well, I guess this one isn't Grixis, but the Reanimator decks are proving incredibly strong right now in the current metagame. All right, they are Cabal Therapying themselves. Get a Grizzlebrand into the yard. So I will Endurance that away, so that the most broken thing does not happen. However, my opponent can just reanimate my Endurance now with the other Reanimate. They did not. All right. I don't think I am trying to do Spirit Guide Beatdown, but it may just be that I need to pressure my opponent to use their Reanimate on this Endurance so that it doesn't do something more broken later. I have the amount of mana that I need. God damn it. Just, I'm not buying a lottery ticket today is all I'm saying. I think my opponent, okay, there we go. My opponent also has Withered Bloom Apprentice, Chain of Smog as their alternate combo. They probably have both pieces of it as well. I think unless I top deck back-to-back combo pieces, they get this one. Swamp Thoughtseize spoils Withered Bloom Apprentice. All right, got it. I think unless they kill themselves with Spoils of the Vault from like 19 life, they've got this one. All right, they Thoughtseize me, deal 2 damage to themselves. There's the Withered Bloom Apprentice. That's not top deck combo pieces. So I think they win. I take 7 here. All right, Amped Raptor. Find me a combo piece. Endurance, not castable. You've got it there. GG. All right, I have a reasonable looking opening hand here. I kind of tip my hat immediately as to what I am doing. I am going to be playing Hexing, Squelcher, and Amped Raptor before Aphetto Alchemist because I do not currently have access to blue mana. I just threw a bunch of Taigas and Tropical Islands into the mana base for this deck. Didn't spend a lot of time thinking about the proper mana base for a 16 land deck. I figured we were already greedy. Never didn't have it. I think I'm going to take a turn off to play Hexing Squelcher. That feels important. I don't know what I'm playing against yet. And I'm going to just hope that I have this turn to do this. I had a turn 3 Goldfish option, and let the record show that I did not take it. We are doing Dark Ritual stuff. I might die for not just jamming my combo, because my combo requires my creature to untap. Like now I know the matchup, but the cost of playing around counterspells was you lose, which is incredibly unsatisfying. Yeah, so nothing I do deals 18 damage here without going infinite, which I can't do because of Summoning Sickness. So opt to play around counterspell, die to the Fantasticar. GG. Let's get 4 Force of Figures into the deck, please. What do I want to board out? Legolas's Quick Reflexes is a way to answer the Fantasticar as well, if I have one of my things able to untap. Do I board out Hexing Squelcher because I can't take the turn off to play it? Like, non-ironically. We just died for playing Hexing Squelcher. I also could play Spirit Guides to speed up more. I think I'm going to call this good enough. Yeah, this is reasonable. This has a turn 3 Goldfish. Again, I can't ask for too much better than that. Misty comes down, and opponent ponders. I will be jamming this game. This is sitting on the stack for a long time. It has resolved. I am suspicious that I'm just going to die. If my opponent presumably has a counterspell and went to themselves, I don't need to counter that. We'll see if I am correct in my evaluation of this spot. Opponent fetches. Yep. Hopefully it's just 16 damage. It's fine if it's just 16 damage. I beat that. Opponent cracks Bobble. Gets in there for 4. I go to 4. And I, in theory, have my win on board here. With protection. So, equip. So, untap. Oh, I can just always yield to this. Excellent. Save targets. Always yield. And we will repeat this process. Alright, my opponent makes me do it a couple times, and then they get the idea, and they concede. This is something we talked about in the most recent episode of the Eternal Glory podcast, where if you can be a combo deck that can win the game after doing 16 damage, or after you have 16 damage dealt to you, you're in an okay spot. I think for this game that I'm on the draw, I'm going to try to get even faster. I think for this game, I'm going to play these Spirit Guides so that I can play my thing on turn 1. So I can play Amped Raptor on turn 1. I think I just mulligan this. That's a Force of Vigor. That's 2 Force of Vigors. Hell yeah. I will keep this pitching Legolas's Quick Reflexes. And now the hope is that my opponent goes for the Fantasticar and I get 2 Force of Vigor the Fantasticar. Spell 1. Spell 2. Spell 3. Oh my god, spell 4. No way. Force of Vigor. Very nice. Take that, you stupid car. Who would win? 4 superheroes in a car or a chunk of a fucking tree? GG's. Alright, opening hand is totally fine here. Yet another Underground Sea Gamer. Fancy that. There's been a lot of those recently. I wonder why. I think I'm going to end up in a similar position to previous games where, like, if my opponent is playing fair, my hand looks amazing, and if they're not playing fair, like, life's bad. I think I'm going to start on this. It's weird because I can't double red spell next turn, so you could make the argument that that's fine. I will do this. You could make the argument that I was just supposed to play Taiga, uncounterable Hexing Squelcher immediately. Holy shit. Wow. Opponent had feelings about that fucking Noble Hierarch. That was Daze, Force of Will, and blue card, and like a land drop back to hand to fight over that. That was great for me. Another Goyf is fine. Do we squelch? I think we squelch. So now counterspells are off, and the ward is pretty good versus the fair side of my opponent's deck. The hope is that they attack me with Nether Goyf, but then don't play another creature so that I actually have a runway to get in for about 3 points of damage with Hexing Squelcher. I don't know that that's happening, though. Oh, that's fine, if that's just a Surveil. Alright. So, here's Amped Raptor. Finding Loki, which is kind of whatever. It could become good quickly if I find an untapper. But that's an if. Oh, hot damn, opponent is just done with me. Great, I'll take that concession. GG. So I know that I am playing against Dimir Tempo. I don't so much have removal spells, minus Legolas's Quick Reflexes if you squint at it funny. Endurance is hard to cast if my opponent is wastelanding me, despite conceptually being good in this matchup. I think I am just hitting the submit button and I am playing the game 1 deck again. This is not very good. I think this just dies to mana denial. I'm going to try to keep something that has a little bit more mana. Yeah. I'm going to keep this I think I do something a little weird and I keep 3 lands and get rid of the Hierarch, despite the fact that my opponent super aggressively fought over Hierarch last time. Ooh, darn you generically good blue-black cards. I have lost the Loki. I am going to jam my cards immediately here. I either get to play around counterspells or additional discard. Excellent. 1 combo piece in play. 2nd is in hand. That doesn't mean that it resolves or anything, but if I don't get to do it, I have Malevolent Rumble as well. Oh, nice. We take our time here. Opponent's not a combo deck. Probably not anyway. So I can just do this instead, attempt to make this uncounterable. Make it more unpleasant for my opponent to use spot removal cards on my things. Have Hexing Squelcher eat the first spot removal spell, so Seeker has a chance to live. Opponent to 16. And if I could get this to a spot where I like randomly find a Legolas's quick reflexes, that would be cool. Island comes down. That's a spirit guide. Well, I mean, I'm going to attempt it. It's in play. It might just get removed on my opponent's turn, but it's in play. I think I don't fetch, though. I think I'm going to surveil land if I don't get wastelanded. And this is where, like, the combo, needing a turn to untap is a big deal. Hopefully my opponent's, like, Barrogoyf life gain isn't relevant because I just find another combo piece and play it next turn. My opponent gets to whack me for 4 here. Ugh, they find Tamiyo and Murktide. Either one of those cards is pretty bad for me. That's a flow state. This is a terrible position. That's another Goyf. So opponent will kill me in 2 swings. I will say no to that land. I really can't afford the time to do that. I think I need to just rumble into a card that goes infinite with the bow and play it, which did not happen. At which point I don't really win anymore. Like, I can play a Loki, draw a card with it. That's not winning me the game. All right. Oh, I guess I'll do it. Take my redraw. Quick reflexes. All right, that's a thing. I don't think it's a relevant thing, but it's a thing. No. This is the exact thing that I said made Loki unplayable, was the existence of Orcish Bowmasters. So I take 8. My opponent gets another look of cards with Barrogoyf, and I can't execute my combo with haste. At which point my opponent has got it. We will try to win the next one. I think I'm still a believer that I don't have the mana to support consistently hardcasting Endurance. I don't think I like this one. I think I need more mana than this. This one I keep. And I just kind of have to really believe in the top of my deck. I need a Legolas's quick reflexes or the bow. I played Noble Hierarch first so that it eats it to the first removal spell, and I can still play Ignoble Hierarch the following turn and keep my red mana. Yep. I think I need this mana. I think I still believe that. I could Spirit Guide one of these out, but I think I need this red to get the bow in play in the first place. Oof. And a tempo deck is going to be the sort of deck that can punish us the hardest for our low land count. I am in an extreme amount of trouble, and my opponents like Nethergoyfs and Barrogoyfs and whatnot will clock me quickly and physically end this game. Delta comes down, opponent passes. At least there's not a threat in play yet, but life's bad. I think I am going to do a value-oriented play and try to hold these combo pieces for a little while. Like have Amped Raptor eat the Force of Will or whatever. It eats the days. You've got it. All right, opponent doesn't have a threat, which is, I guess, great. I would love for this to resolve and sit in play. I think I just have to cast my spells when I have the opportunity to. Play a Bowmaster. Okay, so now there's a clock in play, but that's not a removal spell for Seeker of Skybreak, which is good. Surveil land comes down. Opponent says no to Kaito. I'll take 2. 17. We start jamming these. My opponent just played a Bowmaster. I'm gonna hope there's not a second one. It resolves. My opponent wasn't playing creatures though, so like surely there's more Fatal Push, Snuff Out style cards. I'll be taking 2 more here, unless there's another Kaito. There is another Kaito. Kaito is particularly good against what I've got going on here, right? Because my opponent can just put stun counters on my things that I play out and have all the time in the world to answer my stuff. So I can't play this one because I know Orcish Bowmasters is there. I am instead jamming this Alchemist. It does not feel like I realistically win this matchup ever. Thoughtseize Daze, Force of Will, Snuff Out, Fatal Push. My opponent has so much interaction for my stuff and fast clocks on top of that. I guess my hope here is that they get like greedy, try to push 1 extra damage by playing Bowmasters so that my Seeker of Skybreak is live as a card that has text. The Ponder, excuse me, did shuffle though. So I at least have some. Did my opponent forget to use? No, they stunned with Kaito. So if I play this, it gets Bowmastered immediately. So I will Malevolent Rumble instead. It's another Alchemist, which I can't play. Yeah, I think I'm just going to be dead. Like, my opponent, Bowmasters, pings my Eldrazi spawn, so Kaito can get through. I take 1, 2, potentially like 7-ish damage. Yep. Alright, they're gonna ping the spawn. Alright. As expected. Alright, Kaito makes an emblem. I am dead to damage next turn, and my Alchemist still has a counter on it. I guess I could top deck Legolas's Quick Reflexes to untap my creature. That would be kind of cool. Another orc. Alright, so I'm at 8, and then 1. Opponent Thoughtseizes me. None of the cards in my hand matter. It is fully, do I top deck Legolas's Quick Reflexes? Lose the Spirit Guide. That is Loki. Yeah, so this will not do it. I can get the bow equipped to my creature, but I don't have a way to untap this creature, unfortunately. Opponent's got that one there. GG's. All right, this is a turn 2 Goldfish. This is the theory behind the Spirit Guides, right? Is just play this on 1, do the thing on turn 2. Mox Diamond. Opponent is probably doing some prison stuff that might slow us down. Oh, Scythecat Cub. You've got it. Bam. 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 I really thought this was going to be, like, stacks when I looked at this, but we are closer to the Maverick ballpark, which means that my opponent can have, like, Swords to Plowshare type interaction, unfortunately for us. Scythecat Cub is gonna get bigger quickly. There's a Reclaimer. Yep. So, I mean, I'm jamming. Is one of your last 2 cards a Swords to Plowshares? Because you are dead if it is not. Yeah. Nice. So, always yield to that. Save targets, always yield. Do it again. Opponent is interacting now. A crop rotation. Put a counter on Scythecat Cub. Are you just gonna phase my thing out? Okay, sure. I might just eat 16 damage to this creature. Like, there's an Elvish Reclaimer on board that can double the number of counters on this. I'm going to play a Hierarch in the hopes that it maybe keeps me from being dead. Crop rotation flagstones on my turn as another way to double Scythecat Cub counters is really cute. I don't know that I've seen that before. My opponent's dead if I make it back to my turn, hopefully. I think I am legitimately going to block. For 1 point of life. Because I'm going to die to this next turn no matter what, right? Alright, so let's try to do this thing again. Yeah? They drew swords. Alright. I go up to 12. I think I am always dead to Scythecat Cub now. I can play land, look at this Amped Raptor, pass. The issue is that I just can't top deck a win next turn, even if I somehow make it through Scythecat Cub, which I don't think I'm going to do. Because I think my opponent can just sack a land, get a fetch land, double the counters, and that's already just good enough. Yeah, or flagstones, same logic. Okay, I can see that I am dead. Opponent stopped my combo twice. GG. Go faster. Go faster is probably the name of the game, in which case I drop some of my ability to grind. So this hand could fairly remove a creature, but doesn't really do anything. I think I will just ship this one On 6, sure. I think I just play Amped Raptor on 1. I think I am happy with whatever value this card provides, and I just intend to attack for 3 with first strike next turn. Hexing Squelcher. All right, I put 4 power into play on turn 1. My opponent's creatures can get so big. I don't know that this is a winning line, but it's what I've got. Mox Diamond comes down, and Reclaimer. Ooh, quick reflexes. Crop rotation's weird here. Growing this into a 3/4 would be disastrous. So I guess hopefully that doesn't happen? Yeah? I am playing towards the timeline in which everything goes my way. I think that's what I have to do to win here. And crop rotation is a disaster. Yeah, there we go. So 2 damage is marked on this creature. So my opponent will just take the hit, but I didn't remove their blocker, which means that trying to use these in a fair capacity to push damage for the remainder of the game is just like not gonna work out. Not great for me. And absolute whiff on the Malevolent Rumble as well. Rough. I'm just gonna do this now. Be lazy with it. Another Squelcher. No, that's not really what I need. I can hit in for 3. 3's not good enough. I drop so much damage to my opponent having that crop rotation. Like, it's devastating. The opponent's got Savannah and Lush Portico. Actual Factual Knight of the Reliquary comes down. My opponent has 9 power in play. My fair stuff is fully off the table. I mean, that's an unfair card. That's kind of cool. That at least gives me the bow as a top deck I can potentially do. Oh boy. Without mathing, I imagine that kills me next turn. And again, I can't get in through Knight of the Reliquary here. So, life's bad. So opponent can get flagstones and then sacrifice flagstones on top of that to grind out that value that way. Their Knight of the Reliquary isn't getting through, but this creature is going to have its counters doubled at least twice. Oh, and there's also this. I also have to worry about 20 in the air. All right, so at 5, could go to 4 counters, doubled to 8 counters. I don't think I'm taking 19 from that, so I won't block. I'm certainly dead to Merit Lage or Scythecat Cub the following turn. This is not going to be good enough. I could untap my opponent's Knight of the Reliquary to help him out. All right, there's Knight. Here's Dark Depths. That's a 20/20. None of these things fly. Opponent has got it there. This was a rough league. We put up a win, but I believe that win was due to sideboard cards, not to the strength of the core deck idea. GG's. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up. Overall thoughts on the deck list. I don't think I like the idea of playing a combo deck in Legacy that requires a creature to untap right now. Even if you try to go turbo and play it out, you are interactable on the like counter magic and discard and creature removal axes. The games weren't going long enough that I did any sort of grinding with Loki. Like, conceptually, I really liked the idea of like having another angle for these things to do. Loki was the best thing that I came up with. The other thing I came up with that I didn't try was Wake Thrasher, but this felt slow to me. And again, this was another creature that you had to untap with. One of our opponents the other day was trying Mesmeric Orb, Aphetto Alchemist as another combo, which I didn't understand at the time, but afterwards I thought about it and, hold on, let me put that card on screen. With the idea being that you try to use the Seekers to mill your entire deck and then do Thassa's Oracle Dread Return combo. And that might just be a better way to take this deck, where you can shove up to 8 Spirit Guides if you want, do the Mesmeric Orb stuff, get rid of the ability to like grind and select. The deck largely played Magic the Gathering today. There were a couple of games where the low mana count bit us in the butt. We largely played Magic, but what we were doing wasn't good enough or consistent enough. And it may just be that if you want to play this, you need to do it in a shell that just has the Force of Will, Brainstorm, Ponder stuff. Anubis didn't want to just play it out in that capacity, though, so I wanted to try to respect playing this out as a non-blue deck in terms of style. I think this deck falls into the situation of you could tune and improve this further. I might add a few more fetch lands and a few less dual lands. Make it less awkward when you draw something like Taiga Taiga or Trop Trop. We didn't have that much trouble with mana today, but like in terms of colors, but in a larger sample size, I think we probably would. So for the brewers out there, there's definitely room to do cool stuff. But some of the things we can do, like Legolas's quick reflexes as a board wipe, just wasn't good enough to win. We wiped the board, but then if we're not taking advantage of that time immediately, it doesn't put us in the best of spots. All right, with that, I've recorded 2 videos today, so I think I am going to call it here. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or comment on the way out. That sort of stuff helps out a lot. And if you're in the financial position to support the channel, consider doing a dealer's choice donation deck list or submitting one of your own brews to the channel. All right, have a great day, folks. See ya.